Dolton has been the assessor here in Thornton Township for the past 10 years, an elected position that helps residents deal with exemptions and property tax appeals. But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Brian and Natalie, it is very clear that the trustees in Thornton Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
I motion that we pay the bills for the general fund. Is there a second? Is there a motion and second? Call the roll.
Trustee Jones?
Nope. Radio silence after Henyard attempts to get general fund bills paid. Here's why the trustees didn't go along with it. Last night, the agenda included none of those proposals, so they refused to budge on this.
You guys still don't want to move forward with paying any of the bills in the general fund? That is my question.
Is there a day previous week that we could pick that we can set to review the bills?
Trustee, y'all don't have the bills. Do you want to pay the bills for the general fund?
What the public
No,
needs
no,
to
no.
know.
Dude, they already
What did you
know.
know?
Stop.
They don't even.
Our meeting is on
So that's a
Tuesday.
no then.
We're here.
That's
We're here.
a no. So
We had time to review
So
it.
we can
Yeah,
go
my
on
question
the
is, I
day
can't
to review invoices.
point of order. Is there a motion on the floor to pay the general fund?
So that motion to pay those bills failed. Henyard adjourned the meeting and walked.
Recently, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard found herself handcuffed by the FBI amid serious allegations of wire fraud. Yes, you heard that right. There are claims that she used questionable tactics to finance her extravagant shopping sprees, leaving Dolton's finances in shambles. How absurd is this situation? This isn't your typical small-town drama. This is something else entirely. While Dolton's bank account was rapidly depleting, Henyard was living a lifestyle that would make even the Kardashians envious. We're talking about lavish vacations, high-end luggage, and security details that likely cost more than many people's homes. But hold on, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're about to reveal how this small-town mayor might have been living large on your hard-earned money. Have you ever wondered how a community can go from having millions in the bank to drowning in debt? The feds are listening, and Tiffany Henyard has a lot of explaining to do. Let's take a closer look at how Dolton's so-called golden girl transformed into the latest target for the FBI. It all began with the sudden passing of Frank Zuccarelli, after which Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as mayor. Initially, there were raised eyebrows, but she quickly made big promises to Dolton's residents. However, that honeymoon phase didn't last long. Before anyone could even mention public funds, things took a turn for the worse. Tiffany became the town's own celebrity, flaunting grand ideas and even bigger promises, all while Dolton's bank account dwindled. This is when things spiraled out of control. She seemed to think she was ruling over her own little kingdom rather than serving a community. Anyone who dared to oppose her was swiftly silenced. Despite the village board's attempts to investigate her extravagant spending, Henyard refused to cooperate. You might be wondering how she managed to evade accountability for so long. Well, it's as simple as saying corruption. She overrode any attempts at checks and balances, indulging in designer clothes, luxury vacations, and a security detail that likely exceeded the annual salaries of many residents. Tiffany Henyard was truly living the high life, but at what cost? As we dive deeper into this scandal, the more troubling it becomes. Stay tuned as we uncover the shocking details of how a small-town mayor can turn from a community leader to a subject of federal investigation.
Tiffany, there's one comment that I've heard out of your mouth that I actually agree with.
I wouldn't trust this woman if she stood on a stack of Bibles and had her tongue notarized. Not a damn thing she says comes out her mouth.
Stone has served as Thornton Township's elected assessor for the past decade, diligently assisting citizens with exemptions and property tax appeals. However, this morning, something bizarre unfolded when she arrived at work. As she tried to unlock her office, she discovered that boxes of confidential documents, previously secured, were now scattered across the common area, exposing sensitive taxpayer information for all to see. Who could be behind this breach? None other than the new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard. It's clear that Brian and Natalie, the trustees of Thornton Township, are grappling with trust issues since they refuse to let Henyard handle regular township payments. Despite proposals to settle the general fund bills, Henyard's efforts to resolve budget concerns were met with radio silence. The trustees didn't budge, and it was evident that none of her recommendations were on the agenda. When asked about reviewing bills from the previous week, the response was dismissive. "You already have the bills. Would you like to pay them?" The answer was a resounding no. As they prepared for a meeting on Tuesday, questions loomed about whether a motion to pay the general fund would even be entertained. After adjourning the meeting, Henyard left Natalie in a precarious situation. Meanwhile, Dolton finds itself in a dire financial crisis, plummeting from millions in the bank to over $3.5 million in debt. It's akin to burning your wallet and then wondering why you can't afford rent. And let's not forget the looming FBI investigation, which is scrutinizing everything from payroll to budgets. As Henyard transforms from Dolton's darling to public enemy number one, faster than you can say wire fraud. The federal government is closing in, treating this like the next Watergate. With not one but two subpoenas issued against her, the feds are diving deep into her personal business dealings and the township's financial records. This isn't just a minor investigation. It's a comprehensive hunt for every dollar that has slipped through Dolton's fingers. As they piece together the puzzle, the situation grows increasingly complex, involving other township leaders and a network of potential misconduct. The FBI is determined to uncover every last detail, and for Tiffany Henyard, the walls are closing in. Her days of living lavishly on Dolton's funds may soon come to a crashing halt, as the feds sift through receipts that could make even the wealthiest blush. From a lavish security detail that rivals small nations' defense budgets to extravagant shopping sprees, it's clear that Henyard has been living far beyond her means. And with the FBI combing through her spending like a detective on a mission, the revelations are bound to be shocking. The stakes are high, and the residents of Dolton are growing increasingly restless as they demand accountability for their hard-earned tax dollars. They watch helplessly as their town sinks deeper into debt, fueled by the extravagant lifestyle of a mayor who seems to have lost touch with reality. As the mayor of a small Illinois town, Tiffany Henyard seems to believe she's the president of the United States. Her extravagant security details suggest she's living in a fantasy world, especially as the rest of Dolton struggles with crime and safety. While Henyard enjoys her own personal army, the actual police are left to manage with limited resources. This is the same woman who once spent $33,000 on Amazon in a single day, purchasing everything from gold-plated staplers to designer face masks. One has to wonder how many wigs and batteries she really needs. Meanwhile, Dolton is drowning in debt, yet Henyard continues to live lavishly, taking upscale vacations that do nothing to address the town's pothole crisis. It's as if she's on a mission to boost the economy of every other town while neglecting her own. The FBI is combing through her receipts like a parent inspecting Halloween candy, and it's clear they're uncovering more tricks than treats. But if you think the FBI is the only organization involved in this mess, think again. Henyard's meddling in Dolton's finances has drawn the attention of former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who has been brought in to scrutinize Henyard's spending. The Dolton Village Board is serious about this investigation, and Lightfoot, a former federal prosecutor, isn't one to shy away from tough questions. Residents are furious as they watch their tax dollars vanish faster than a child's allowance at a candy store. Lightfoot's mission is to expose Henyard's financial mismanagement, but Henyard is fighting back, claiming that the scrutiny is politically motivated and that her race and gender are being weaponized against her. While she tries to play the victim, Lightfoot is meticulously reviewing every receipt, credit card statement, and travel log. The findings are bound to be shocking, especially given the extravagant trips, the Amazon shopping sprees, and the $1 million security detail. This investigation feels like a reality TV show gone wrong, and every day brings new revelations that leave Dolton residents shaking their heads. Lightfoot is determined to find a solution to this financial drain before Dolton becomes a ghost town, but it's a daunting task as Henyard continues to punch holes in the budget while trying to patch the dam. With Dolton's bank account dwindling, it feels like watching a train crash in slow motion. The local anger is palpable, and who can blame them? They're not just upset about Henyard's shopping spree, they're witnessing a mayor under investigation by another mayor while the FBI digs into the town's finances. This isn't just political drama, it has real repercussions for the people of Dolton. Residents are no longer staying silent. They're protesting and demanding Henyard's resignation. They're tired of watching their hard-earned tax dollars fund her extravagant lifestyle while the town's debt continues to mount. It's as if she believes she has a golden ticket to a never-ending party, but the reality is catching up with her fast.